But how does this process of manifestation take place? Well, let's go to the analogy of the seed. So I have an idea for a better life that I want to live. And that is like a seed. That's like a seed. That idea is a seed. But where is the seed? That seed is in me. So what do I have to do with that seed? Well, I have to plant that seed. I have to find the right environment to plant that seed. And then I have to nurture that seed. And what does the seed do? Well, the seed starts to organize, it starts to collect energy and organize the things around it into the plant. We have to do the same thing. We have to start to collect the energy and organize the things around us that are going to take us towards the better life that we want to live. Hi there, welcome to Body Efficiency Training. And this training is all about Chi, the life force energy. Because efficiency is really a measure of our energy, our Chi. If we become more efficient, we will have more Chi available to us. We will be able to collect it from the environment around us, from the universe around us. And this will give us more energy for a greater enjoyment in life. In this video, I want to talk about the process of manifestation. This is talked about a lot. The law of attraction is a famous thing now, but I don't quite like the word law of attraction. What I call this is really the process of manifestation. There is a process that happens. And this process is all about Chi, because what is the energy that does this manifestation? There needs to be some energy. Well, that energy is Chi, the life force energy, a mysterious force. It's mysterious because it's not physical. You can't detect it directly. You can only detect the effects of it. And the effect of this Chi is the manifestation process. Now, if you look at a living thing like a plant, a seed, if you plant a seed in the ground, it begins to grow. It begins to manifest into a plant or a tree, let's say. So how does it do that? Well, you plant the seed in the ground, given the right circumstances, the right sunlight and water, the seed begins to attract energy, attract the radiation, and it attracts the electric energy from the earth, it attracts the minerals and it attracts the water, and it uses all these things together to build a sort of structure, a tower. It combines all the things around it to build a great big plant. I mean, the seed is tiny, so that the plant is not in the seed. The seed has got the information to build the plant out of the environment around it. It comes from the environment. But where does the energy come from? Because the energy is not in the seed. That tiny little seed hasn't got enough energy to build a whole tree. So the energy is not in the seed. The only thing that is in the seed is the information. And the information is stored in a physical manifestation. For example, like DNA. DNA is a hard drive storing information. And they've proven this now. People can actually upload information onto DNA and use it as a storage device. And I think they uploaded a book, the whole book onto the DNA. And then they thought, well, that's amazing. How many times can we do this? And they uploaded the book, I think, a ridiculous number of times, like 1 billion copies of the book. They managed to load up onto a strand of DNA or onto some DNA. So DNA is just a hard drive that stores information. So the information is stored in the seed, on a sort of hard drive. But remember, the information itself is not physical. The hard drive is a physical thing, but the information you put onto it is something else. We have to put the information onto the hard drive. So the information is on a hard drive in the seed, but the ultimate information is not, is non-physical, and the energy required to bring that information into manifestation is the Chi, the mysterious life force energy. And this I call an organizational force, because it organizes the things around it and uses those things to build the plant that it wants to build, that it has the information for, the blueprint for. And this process happens in all aspects of life. The manifestation process itself is exactly like that. There is a process of growth, and this goes right back to mathematics and the Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio, and you can look into that, and I'll talk about that in great detail in time. But right to the very fundamentals of growth, it goes right back to mathematics. So everything operates from this basis. even the growth and the manifestation of something as abstract as building the life you want to live. Because that's what law of attraction and all these manifestation ideas is all about. How do we build the life that we want to live? How do we create a life that we enjoy? A life of abundance, not a life of poverty and lack. We want a life, a fulfilling life, a satisfactory life, a life of abundance, in all types of abundance, not just wealth. Wealth is only one form of abundance. And in fact, there is not really any such thing as wealth. If you think about money, money is really only people. People have to do the work to create the money. And most of what we've got now is credit. What is credit? Well, credit is again the promise of future work by people. So credit only comes from people. So money and wealth is really only a good network of people around you, if you think about it. So abundance still comes from attracting the right people around you. But how does this process of manifestation take place? Well, let's go to the analogy of the seed. So I have an idea for a better life that I want to live. And that is like a seed. That's like a seed. That idea is a seed. But where is the seed? That seed is in me. So what do I have to do with that seed? Well, I have to plant that seed. I have to find the right environment to plant that seed. And then I have to nurture that seed. And what does the seed do? Well, the seed starts to organize, it starts to collect energy and organize the things around it into the plant. We have to do the same thing. We have to start to collect the energy and organize the things around us that are going to take us towards the better life that we want to live. And this starts very basic, very simple. The first thing we have to organize is our own body structure. The second thing we have to organize is the living environment, what we live in, the things around us. And you can think of this as feng shui. You know, the art of placing things for better energy, or geomancy. But what are you doing? You're starting to organize the things around you, like a seed starts to organize the minerals and the water around it to build a plant. When we want to build a better life, we have to start to organize the things around us. And as they get more organized, we can organize bigger things. And we can get projects going. So this is how we manifest the life we want. See, we have to do it. The seed is in us. We are the seed. We are the ones that have to pull in the energy and pull in the minerals and the water and the things around us to organize them into the life we want. So put simply, the first thing you do is build your body structure. The second thing you do is tidy up your room and your living space. Now the other thing that happens is people misunderstand this idea of the law of attraction and manifestation. Well, I can't just think any old fantasy and it will happen. Well, that's right, you can't. What is a fantasy? Well, every single idea in your head is a seed. Even the most fantastical idea is still a seed of manifestation. But whether that seed will grow or not is another question. Let's just say I really want to have a flying unicorn. So I will visualize it, yes, I'm visualizing it, I'm trying to manifest it. But the flying unicorn is never going to turn up, not a real one. So that seed, in other words, that seed cannot be planted. It will not grow. There is no environment for that seed where it will manifest. Let's look at another one. Okay, so I want to fly. I really want to fly. So I go to the top of a building and I really visualize flying like Superman and I jump off the building. No matter how hard I visualize, I'm still going to fall to my doom. So why could I not manifest that ability to fly? Well, that seed is still an idea of manifestation, but the way I planted that seed will not work. The seed has got to be planted in an environment where it will grow. So that seed has no environment where it will grow. Or a very, very long-term environment. So for example, but you see what you can do, if you have the idea, the seed, I want to fly, I want to be able to fly, well, you've got to plant that seed in the correct environment where it can grow. And that environment is, well, I can look into studying to become a pilot. I can start organising my life, saving up the money, tidying up my space, getting energy right, looking into flight schools, signing up, starting to learn how to fly. So all this is me organising the things around me for that vision of a life I want to live, that seed, to manifest that seed of being able to fly. But that will take time and growth. It's going to have setbacks, things are going to happen like every plant. No plant is perfect. It wants to grow up perfectly, but it never does. It grows a bit, gets knocked about, grows a bit, gets knocked about, grows and gets knocked, but it still grows. This is what happens to us in manifestation. We have to grow into manifesting the life we want, and we must not worry about setbacks and getting knocked. The weather is always changing, things are always happening, but you've got to keep growing. You've got to keep the vision of the seed going. You've got to keep that blueprint, the ultimate plan in mind, because you are the seed. You are the one that has to make it happen. So anyway, if you do that and you grow and you plant this seed to become a pilot, and that takes several years, 5, 10 years, so that is the process of growth. It takes time. But after 10 years, you'll have your pilot's license, and off you go, you will be flying. So it's the same seed, but you planted it in an environment where it would grow. A real environment. In other words, it has to follow the laws of the manifest reality. And there are laws of this manifest reality, but even laws is not a good way to think about it. The manifest reality can only ever happen in one way, and that is the way it has happened. The mathematics of it, there is only one mathematics that will govern growth. And in Pythagorean mathematics, this term is incommensurability. It takes a long time to explain this. But there is only one solution, a mathematical solution, that will provide the growth and the process of manifestation. And that governs the entire universe. That is the only thing that works. So we can say it's a law, but it is not actually a law. It is the only thing that is there. It is the only mathematics that can work. Hence, it is called incommensurability. And this goes together with the golden ratio and all sorts of things, and we'll have long discussions about this in time. But suffice to say, if you want to manifest something, you have to follow this mathematical process. You have to follow the way things grow. It doesn't happen instantly. And different seeds have different lengths of time to grow. And the ideas we have to live in our life are new ideas. It's a new seed. So we have no idea really how long it's going to take. But we can have an idea. We can start planning it. We've got to plan it. We've got to think about it. We've got to think, is this a realistic seed? Is this idea that I want to live my life? Is it realistic? Well, yes, it is. Okay, so now I've got to start putting the blueprint of this seed together, the plan. I need to have some steps in order, some ideas. Because the seed has got the vision, but it also has the plan, the blueprint, the design, and the process is within the seed. So we need all these things in mind. And all we have to do is keep the vision, keep the process in mind of how we want to grow this life that we want, and then keep on growing, little bit at a time, little bit at a time. If you get setbacks, you get cutbacks, doesn't matter, you start growing again in a slightly different direction. But ultimately, you're still moving towards the same place. The tree is always growing up to the sky, even as knocked off this way, it's still working its way up. So this is how we do manifestation. This is how we can practically manifest the life we want to live. And we need that assessment. We need continuous assessment of the reality of things. Is this seed going to grow? And what do I need to do to nurture this seed? And the process will always be as follows. First thing to do is your body. That's why I call this body efficiency training. Everything starts in your body. The seed is in here. It's inside your body. It has to grow from here. Look at the seed, tiny seed. The first thing is a little root comes out, and then a little stalk comes out, and it starts from there, tiny. So from us, it starts from in here. I've got to build the chi, get my body in better alignment, feel an alignment between my mind, body, and spirit. Allow this seed, this idea to sit well inside me. And then from there I can start growing outwards. So I've got to look at my immediate environment, tidy up my room, just organise my life a bit. Now that's not an easy one, and it's not an easy one for me either, but we have to do this. We've got to get on, little bit at a time. And as that happens, you'll see bigger things that you can organise and get in process. You can see people that you might need to meet to get things going. And then you can start projects, the projects that will lead you towards the life you want to live. But ultimately, the life we all want is a life of being an integrated being, a unified soul, experiencing life in its fullest. And that's not an easy thing to do. That's not an easy thing to do. It's not just the abundance of things in the world we want, it's really the feeling of abundance that we want. So the process of manifestation, if you can get the seed, the vision, the information, then you need to get the feeling of what it's like to have that abundance, and you can get that feeling immediately. That feeling can be instant because the abundance is here. Abundance is everywhere. We are surrounded by abundance. It's inside us and around us. All we have to do is organize it into the life we want. But the feeling is the chi, the energy. That is the energy that will get us to do it. So I have the vision, the seed, the idea. I check that I plant this seed in a way that it can grow. I've got to find the right plan to make this seed grow, because you can't just plant any old seed anywhere. You've got to think carefully about it. It requires planning. And then you've got to build the feeling of what it will be like to have that achieved, to live this life that you want. And that feeling is a good feeling. You keep that good feeling going, that, wow, this is going to be great. And this is great. All I'm doing is organizing the abundance around me into the way that I want it. And that feeling that we need is the chi, the soul power that will get this thing going. And that's what we need to concentrate on, the chi. And then after that, once you get the chi going, then you can start doing activity. You see, your body and the energy and the vision are together. Now you can start going to do projects, tidy up your house, sort out the office, whatever the things you've got to do. Improve the relationships with the people close to you. You want everything around you to be operating smoothly and easily. And this will help all aspects of growth. This is efficiency. Efficiency in the relationships you have, in your business interactions, in the way you operate your home. All these things will add to the chi, help the chi to grow and build. And if we build the chi, the soul power, the feeling of abundance that we want, then we have the energy to bring the seed, that is our vision of the life we want to live. We have then the energy to bring that vision into manifestation. But it takes time and we have to nurture it. It is a process of growth. And growth has various cycles, various seasons, so it's always changing. So we don't get hung up. We've got to understand what is happening now is always changing. The vision can be still, stationary. The energy you can get instantly, but the actual growth is slow. And that changes slowly, and sometimes it's out of your control. The weather, so you can't control the weather. You have to know that. Remember, the plant grows up, it gets knocked. The plant didn't want that. It's tough luck. But the plant doesn't care. It just turns and keeps growing. See, we must not get hung up when we get knocked, when we get setback. Oh, it didn't work. That doesn't matter. The seed is still the same. The energy is still the same. It's just time is still needed. You've got to keep on going. And there's another saying, of course, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And that's right, we need to enjoy the process of growth itself. We're always growing a little bit, a little bit. We're always collecting chi. We're always organizing the things around us into a better life that we want. We need to keep this going. This never stops. The process of growth is the key. That is the flow of chi itself, the life force. We want the life force, the chi, to be flowing through us always, continually flowing. You know, the idea of reaching a destination is you stop. Well, you don't want to stop. The life force shouldn't stop. There's no end to it. We want it to keep going. And this is also the secret to longevity. And the ancient Tao masters were, of course, searching for immortality. And I mean physical immortality, how to live forever. Now, interesting enough, the mathematicians have realized that you could probably only live to about 800 years because statistically you might die of an accident. So even if you could be physically immortal, you'd need to be invulnerable or living somewhere very, very quietly. Anyway, that's another discussion that we're going to talk about in great detail in time. But the idea is we want the chi to flow, the life force to flow. We want to continually grow, growing and growing. But we're growing from the information of the seed, and the seed is our idea of how we want to live our life. And the growth process is the manifestation of our life. And we'll see from time to time, you know, we'll have moments of achievement. The plant will eventually bear fruit. So then you'll really feel the abundance. But it takes a long time for a plant to bear fruit, as it will be with our life. But it doesn't matter where we are, how difficult it is, we still have to start. And the seed just starts from a little root coming out and a little stalk coming out. and you've got to give it very little bits of water, just enough sunlight. You don't want to dry it out, you don't want to flood it. We have to be careful, be slow. And of course it all starts from body efficiency training. Get our alignment right, feel our body, our mind and our spirit in alignment. Then we allow the information of the seed, which is our idea, our blueprint of the life we want to live. We allow that information to flow through us into a feeling of what it will be like to live that life. And that feeling is the chi. And that chi we then allow to go into our body, into our bones, and into the things we do all day. Remember, we are the seed, we are the ones that have to organize the things around us into the life we want. It won't happen by itself. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.